It feels like it was yesterday when the United States got completely outplayed by Belgium in the 2014 World Cup, with Tim Howard working miracles just to keep the US men's national team in the game. But I mean, that was Belgium's golden generation that peaked in 2018 and has been going down since. Now, they're not a bad team right now by any means, but they're much weaker than they once were. This is no longer prime Belgium golden generation. That's my point. And the United States will be facing them this week in a friendly match to prepare for the 2026 World Cup. After all, this is the last international break prior to the World Cup, so it's a pretty important one. So today we're going to preview the living crap out of this game, United States versus Belgium. Hello. If you're new here, I'm Filippo, and welcome to Tactical Manager TV. And welcome to today's episode where we are going to provide the ultimate US men's national team versus Belgium match preview. This is how it's going to go. First, we're going to start with where and when to watch this game, followed by the US men's national team projected starting 11, and then my starting 11 for this game. Even though no one cares and no one asked for it, I'm still going to provide you my starting 11. Now for Belgium, I had to do my own research. I realized that I've never met someone from Belgium in my entire life, which is a bit weird because that is a country with 12 million people. Maybe the people from Belgium never really leave Belgium. I swear, I tried to find someone that was an expert in the Belgium national team. I couldn't do it. Okay, I just couldn't find someone. I just didn't know anyone. So I had to do my own research, which is fine, right? They call me the soccer Tony Stark because I'm very good at researching, even though I am taller, but not really better looking than Tony Stark, but I'm really good at researching. So for the Belgium section, it's going to be all me. Now make sure to drop a like in this video if you haven't already. Just do it right now. It takes a second and it helps the channel quite a bit. And let me know in the comment section down below your score prediction for United States versus Belgium. Any comment helps us rig the YouTube algorithm and push this video further, so just do it as well if you want to. I cannot force you. All right, let's roll the intro and start the episode. The US men's national team is set to face Belgium this Saturday, March 28th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so mark your calendars. This game will take place at the beautiful Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Now, if you're in the United States, you can watch this game on TNT, Telemundo, Universo, HBO Max, and Peacock, so you got a lot of options. You can also mute your TV and join us in our live watch-along here on YouTube. Yes, the live watch-alongs are back, and you know Spicy Jeff is definitely happy. He loves the live watch-alongs very much. He watches them. Actually, let me end it at that. We know exactly how he watches them. We'll be back. We haven't really done one since 2025, so it's been a while. Throughout history, the United States men's national team and Belgium have faced each other 6 times, with one American win back in the 1930 World Cup. Which, by the way, that was actually the very first World Cup. So the United States defeated Belgium in the very first World Cup back in 1930, which it's kind of crazy. That's almost 100 years ago, since we were in the Great Depression back then. It's just wild, right? That was before World War II. And then ever since, the US and Belgium have faced each other 5 times. And Belgium has won every single game. The last one was in the 2014 World Cup that all of you very likely remember, where Belgium defeated the United States in the round of 16 in Brazil. What can we learn from this, or what can we take from this? Belgium has a massive advantage over the US on head-to-head matches, right? We won one game like 100 years ago, and since they have 5 wins. So, I know it's a friendly, but it would be kind of nice to beat them. And I think we can. Now, before we continue and I give you the US men's national team projected starting 11 and my starting 11, a quick word from the sponsor of this video, PrizePicks. Don't go anywhere and make sure to drop a like in this video while you watch the ad. We'll be back very soon. The playoff push is heating up and the tournament hoops are here. And there's no better way to cash in if you're right on the flying hoops action on PrizePicks, where it always feels good to be right. And everything that happens in the game just means a bit more when you're on PrizePicks. And with their brand new Team Picks Market, you can now pick game winners, spreads, and totals on top of the player picks you already know. Team Picks is also available in 35 states right now, including California, Texas, Georgia, Washington, and many others. And you know, if you're on PrizePicks and you have friends over, it just makes the watching experience more fun. And obviously play with responsibility. But don't worry, they also have a free-to-play mode. Yes, you can play for free with their free-to-play jackpot. Now, download the PrizePicks app today and pick your first game winner spread or total as a playoff push rolls on. And then you get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup by using the code CLNS. That is the code CLNS to get $50 in daily fantasy lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, promo code CLNS. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. All right, we are back. Now let's talk about the US men's national team. So I'm not going to break down the entire roster. We did a stream and a 7 things we learned video for that, so you can go check that out if you want to know more about this specific roster. We talked about Noah Kai Banks rejecting the call-up. Tyler Adams is injured. Serginho Dest is injured. Haji Wright is injured. Besides that, most players are available. So with the guys that he has available, what is Mauricio Pochettino's projected starting 11? And keep in mind, I think he's going to approach this game as if it is a World Cup game. So he's going to put out his best 11, or the best 11 that he believes are the best players. Okay, so as of now, at the time of this recording, none of the guys I'm going to mention are injured, so they should be available. And Pochettino will very likely go with the 3-4-2-1 formation. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. And he's been using that formation, and the US has been playing well, right, with that setup. On goal, we have Matt Freese. The USMNT goalkeeper situation is very bad, but Matt Freese is the most reliable one for now. The 3 center backs that I think he will start for this game will be Mark McKenzie, Chris Richards, and Tim Ream. I don't think he's going to start Miles Robinson. He called him up, but he's not in good form in MLS. He's not playing well. He's also not a great player. So even if he is in good form, he probably shouldn't be playing there for the U.S. national team. So it's probably going to be McKenzie, Ream, and Richards. And I think Austin Trusty will get an opportunity. For the wingbacks, he'll very likely start Alex Freeman as the right wingback because Serginho Dest is not available. Even though we've seen him play Freeman as a center back, I think he'll start as a right wingback this game. If it's not Freeman, the other 2 options would be maybe Tim Weah or Joe Scally, but I think he'll go with Alex Freeman. And the left wingback will very likely be Anthony Robinson. The double pivot midfield, Tyler Adams is not available. I doubt he starts Roldan or Berhalter. I think he's going to test out Tanner Tessman and Johnny Cardoso. And listen, Johnny has to do well this camp. He has to if he wants to be in the World Cup. The 2 attacking midfielders that are tucked inside will be Weston McKennie and Christian Pulisic, with Balogun as the center forward. Which honestly, that's not a bad lineup, okay? However, I would do a few things slightly different because I want to test a specific player in a specific position, and I have other guys that I want to test as well. So that's what I think Pochettino will do. Now I'm going to tell you what I would do. Again, it doesn't matter. You didn't ask for this, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Okay, I would keep the same formation, the 3-4-2-1. I don't see a reason to change that. I do like the fact that our wingbacks provide width, and then we have the 2 attacking midfielders tucked inside instead of wingers. So I would go with Matt Freese on goal. Now for center backs, I would go with Richards as a right center back, McKenzie as the left center back, because he does play there for Toulouse in the back 3 very often. And I would try Tanner Tessman as the central center back. Lyon has tried him as a center back. We lack depth. We don't know if Noah Kai Banks will pick the US. I would play Tanner Tessman as a center back. And you may be saying this is the tactical manager agenda. He's been pushing Tanner Tessman as a center back for like 2 years at this point. But Lyon has played him as a center back, I believe 3 to 4 games this season. Try it. See how he does. If he doesn't do well against Belgium, yeah, you're not going to do that in the World Cup, but at least give him a shot as a center back. See if he's an actual reliable option or if tactical manager is just insane. For the right wing back, I would have Joe Scally. I think he's defensively more reliable than a Tim Weah. Even though I'll be okay with Tim Weah, we're going to face Belgium, so we do need defensive solidity. I would have Joe Scally instead of Tim Weah. I wouldn't really start Alex Freeman right now. He's not been playing much for Villarreal. We know what he can offer too. I would go Joe Scally. The left wing back, I would go with Anthony Robinson. The double pivot midfield, I would go with Johnny and Weston McKennie. Now you're going to say, Weston McKennie, he won't defend as well as Tanner Tessman. I disagree. I think McKennie can defend well as well as Terrence Tessman. So we'll have Johnny and McKennie there. The two attacking midfielders, I would go with Malik Tillman and Pulisic. I would not start Gio Reyna. To me, he'll be a super sub. And then I would just have Balogun up top. He is our best center forward, and Balogun is in incredible form right now. But let me know what you think. What would be your starting 11 to face Belgium? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, while you also drop a like in this video. And now, let's talk about Belgium. Okay, so Belgium. As I said before, this is no longer their golden generation. That generation has peaked in 2018 when they had prime Kevin De Bruyne, Eden Hazard before he got a little chubby. Lukaku was much better back then. Courtois, still as good as he's always been. They had company. Again, this is not the golden generation. But this is also not a bad team. This Belgium side is still very strong. And if you play like utter crap, they will demolish you. So let's talk about how they have done recently. In the UEFA Nations League League A, which is their first division, they almost got relegated in 2024. They finished in third place in their group behind Italy and France, the same Italy that still has not qualified for the 2026 World Cup. And they were only ahead Israel, which is not really a good team, so that doesn't mean much. Belgium had to play a knockout round against Ukraine, where they saved themselves from relegation with a 4-3 win on aggregate. Now fast forward to World Cup qualifying, and Belgium managed to top their group with 5 wins and 3 draws in 8 games. But then again, their group was bad. Like seriously, this is an abysmal group. Sure, props to them for going undefeated and qualifying to the World Cup, but this is a bad group. Like, look at this. They had Wales, the country, in second place. After that, North Macedonia, Kazakhstan, and Liechtenstein. I don't even know if Kazakhstan and Liechtenstein would do on CONCACAF. These are not good teams. Like, Liechtenstein is actually really bad. Now, Belgium signed Rudi Garcia as their head coach back in January of 2025. He has only lost 1 game so far, which was the away game to Ukraine in the relegation battle in the Nations League. And in the other 9 games, he has been in charge. They got 6 wins and 3 draws. So he hasn't really been tested so far. It was the World Cup qualifying group, which we talked about. It was terrible. The 2 strongest teams that he have faced have been Ukraine and Wales, the country. So that said, it's kind of hard to project how good this team is at the moment, right? Form-wise, or how they're playing, because they haven't really faced great competition. But what we can do is we can project how good they are based on the talent that they have available. So let's talk about some of their players. Let's start with the key players that will not be available against the US men's national team. So Leandro Trossard from Arsenal and Vanaken from Club Brugge, they're usually starters for Belgium, and they will not be available due to injury. Trossard is actually quite important for Belgium. But the most notable name missing is Courtois. Right? A world-class goalkeeper, a fantastic goalkeeper from Real Madrid. He was not called in due to injury, so you definitely know who he is. So I would say those are the most notable names missing. Now, who are the most notable names that will actually play? And I would say Kevin De Bruyne, of course. He's past his prime, but he's still one of the best midfielders in the world. He's still one of the best at what he does, and he's one of the best midfielders in Premier League history, and now he's a Napoli player in Italy. Kevin De Bruyne, definitely a player to watch. Tielemans is also an incredible midfielder that plays for Aston Villa, but he's coming back from injury, so I don't know how many minutes he'll play. He'll probably come off the bench. Charles de Ketelaere, I don't think he's been having the best of seasons with Atalanta. Atalanta hasn't been great also, but he's a quality player, and I do need to mention him. He's very good. And of course, Jeremy Doku from Man City, a great player, talented winger. He just really can't score goals, but he's incredible, and he'll light you up on 1v1s. It does also seem like this team has a center forward issue. I mean, they're still calling up Lukaku that this season he's been either injured or in bad form, right? He's not been good. I think he's played like 5 games. He has 1 goal. He hasn't been good. The other one that they called up is Openda. Now, he's not injured or in bad form. He's just Openda. He's just not good. So one has to wonder where the goal is going to come from with Belgium. Lukaku? Openda? Jeremy Doku is incredible, but he doesn't really score much. Where are the goals going to come from with this team? My point here is if our back line gets exposed this game, as good as Belgium is, right, you still have players like Doku that can light you up. You have Kevin De Bruyne. If we get exposed against this team, we're in big trouble if when we face like a Portugal, even though they also have a center forward issue and Ronaldo's not available. But we'll talk about that in a separate video. But what about if we play a Spain, an Argentina, a Brazil, a France? We would get demolished. Our back line needs to hold their own against this Belgium side. We cannot get exposed. And outside of the host nations, to me, out of the top seeds in the World Cup, because Belgium was pot 1, They're the weakest team of pot 1 outside of the host nations. I still think Belgium is a better team than the US, Mexico, and Canada. But again, this game's played in the US. My opinion for this game is the US men's national team, at worst, we pull a draw. At best, I hope we win. We should go for the win. And based on multiple simulations that I've done, if everything goes well and the US tops their group and Belgium tops their group in the World Cup, we would clash with Belgium in the round of 16, which is the second round of the knockout rounds in the World Cup because it's expanded, which would be maybe a revenge game from 2014. My point, what do I want to see this game? I want to see the US pull a result. I know it's a friendly, but to me it matters. I want to see us play well. That's obvious. But I want to see our backline hold their own, right? Look, beating them 3-2 would be great. But even if it's a 1-0 win where we play well, we defend well, and we get that 1-0 win against Belgium, that's what I want to see. I want to see a win where we didn't get lucky, where we actually earned it. But that's all for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I will see you in the live watch along this Saturday. And that's all for today. Drop a like before you go. Let me know your score predictions. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.